Hello, everyone. Sorry for the 2-minute delay. We were trying to get someone else in. The computer was doing computer things, though, so he will not be here. So you are stuck with Eric, myself, and Mikko. We're going to be talking about Alliance. We're going to be talking about skirmish mode. We're going to be talking about the office and how it might not be our office anymore because we might be going to a new office and all this crazy stuff. As always, we'll be taking your questions throughout the entire thing, so let us know what you're thinking, what you want to know more about, what's bothering you. So I guess to start us off, Eric, how is it in the office right now? What's everyone working on?
Everyone's working on getting out the first, I guess, test for Alliance to our users. So everyone's just busy with that stuff. Otherwise, Howard has been spending a lot of time looking at different office spaces because our lease is up at the end of the month. So we probably will not stay in our lovely space right now, and we will go somewhere to an even more lovelier space in the near future. So for us right now, it's going to be putting in applications for 2 spaces and see what we get. So that's kind of exciting. Dreading the move, but that's the move. No one likes moving stuff.
Yeah, and then so someone said an office with AC. Yep, I think you guys are going ritzy over there.
Okay, well, I mean, okay. We have AC now, but it's too much AC. We can never get it right in this fucking building. It's like either we don't have it or it's too much. So right now, I'm in our conference room area, and I'm freezing. There's too much here. In the other room where we actually work, Derek, our animator, ended up putting cardboard in the vents to block some of the AC from freezing us over. So that
to bring parkas into the office,
Yeah. I have a jacket that I wear, so it's kind of ridiculous. But also, we think we're also dying in the office. There's something festering in the ventilation that's making I've had a cough or some kind of throat irritation for a very long time. I was sick for a while, but that was months ago. So I don't know if it's allergies. It could be allergies, but certainly being in this space is not helping.
So I just want to say the office we currently have is slowly killing the team.
Yes. So whether or not you get Alliance mode, well, we'll wait and see how many has dropped like flies.
I will say, I am jealous of how cold it is with your broken AC, because I have tinfoil over my windows to try to stop thermal gain. I look like a crazy person trying to keep the aliens out, because I am just melting over here.
Oh, God. And, yeah, we actually have, there are a ton of flies and gnats in the office for some reason.
Oh, God. Well, probably from whatever's growing in the vents.
We don't know.
Is feeding them.
It doesn't help that our janitor is, super lazy and, never actually does anything, but who knows? This place, we just need to get out, okay? Someone is anyone a New York realtor can cut us a deal.
If you're a New York realtor and like Guns of Icarus, please contact us. Someone's saying, so I hear you need a new janitor. Well, you know what? Maybe you can apply for that job, though. Hopefully Muse gets out of the festering pit.
I mean, it's kind of weird. It's we have this one guy who, I don't even know, but he was, gone for 6 weeks or something. I don't know what happened to him, but so the other part of the crew, the other, other people started coming in, and they did a fantastic job. We came into the office, and, things were wiped down, and everything looked nice, and I was all right, great. It's obvious that there's a clear difference here. So I don't know what's going on. It's this one dude or something. The management sends this one dude to the people that they don't like. I don't know.
What did you guys do to the management of the building?
I don't know.
Everyone's saying, though, that you need to give up on New York and come to California.
Why? Why California? California has problems too, man. There's no water in California. Who would want to go there?
Apparently it's because they don't have seasons, which...
Could always try British Columbia,
Someone said move to Australia. That's worse. They have
Yeah,
they had more seasons. They have a season with death birds, from what I've heard. Now someone's saying California's a shithole, go to Delaware. I feel like people are just listing off places now. Delaware is the promised land.
Let's go to Europe.
Well, we'll have basically people hold a vote to see where Muse goes, and we'll probably just stay in Muse. What happens.
Yeah. True.
Actually, interesting point. If you're a realtor in other places and can make an amazing deal, including moving everyone over, then send that to Howard. Otherwise, it's a money issue, and moving everyone over would be pretty crazy. So.
Right.
But if you're on the inside track, if you are part of low-level government corruption, let us know. But so for Alliance mode, we're on technically the countdown to the countdown is how I'd phrase it. What cool things this week were you testing out, working on, getting your hands dirty with?
Well, okay, so this week it's just finalizing the final map layout stuff for Assault mode. And this is the first official Assault mode map we'll have, so just making sure all that plays nicely. Ironing out some of the last-minute details of how to make different parts of that mode more entertaining. And I think we've got something like pretty good. And just general playtesting, making sure stuff isn't too difficult and whatever.
So what's going to be the feedback that you just shake your head and just go, I know? Like, when we release this to everyone, what do you think it's going to be like? Listen, it's broken, I know, or it's, it's going to improve, it's going to get better?
I don't know. Like, I mean, there might be, not with Assault mode. I mean, we're still working through Retrieve. Retrieve is pretty difficult as far as designing a game mode goes. We still don't think it's up to snuff just yet. Like, Assault and Defense are pretty clear, and they fit in a very obvious niche. And with Retrieve, we kind of know where we want it to be, but trying to tease out additional player choice has become a challenge. It's either it's like either too hard or it's too easy, right? You can't just strike that middle ground somewhere. I had a discussion with Tim because I'm trying to design a better map for it to figure out what he thought, if there was anything limiting map design. It became a whole just general game design discussion about what Retrieve was, and we have an idea of where to approach it and bring it next. So hopefully that'll be one of the final iterations for at least the game mode. So we'll definitely see. If anything, Retrieve mode might be like the one that's on the fence, that definitely needs more work. I'm not sure how much work can go into it at this point. Maybe people will say things about some of the new ships that we'll be testing. We'll see.
All right, and then so someone's asking, what does so the countdown to the countdown? What does that mean? So basically, we're hoping the end of the month is the goal. So we're getting very close. So it's the getting close to getting close kind of thing. I don't want to call the start of the month the countdown, or I'll have you guys counting down from 30. And unless you have an advent calendar with some chocolate in it, it's just not as much fun. So I'm thinking a week out we'll have the actual countdown, so you can count with us there, and we can do exciting things and have events and make it a party kind of thing.
Yeah, and again, it's like what we're trying to do at the end of the month is release our very first prototype to get like a ton of feedback about. So giving it to our Kickstarter backers, people who pre-ordered, all that stuff, getting it to those people, and starting to begin our first round of many. Very serious testing.
And then someone asked, you put in a great comment, which I agree with, and I think we've talked about before, but I think you've got a very important question. One of my concerns is, will Alliance effectively dilute the whole community? And I definitely think, as an online game, that's 100% our job. It's not a player's job to make sure there's enough players. So we love your help. Every time you tell a friend, you buy an extra copy, you pimp us out on Twitter, or Facebook, or YouTube, that's amazing. But since it is an online game, it's our job. And a big thing is PvP, while the people who like PvP will probably like Alliance, there'll also be a bunch of new players that come in. There's a lot of people who wanted a co-op mode, a non-player versus player for the longest time. Plus, it's a whole new round of press. It's a whole new round of events, of YouTubers, of all that, which helps bring in more people, increase the longevity, and just add in more content. I mean, think of all your friends, or hopefully all your friends that you've shown the game that kind of stopped playing for a bit, and how you'll probably be able to pull them in by saying, hey, there's so much new content, new ships, new maps, new guns. I mean, I know, at least a lot of people are saying, hey, listen, I loved PvP. I put in 1,000 hours, and that's definitely more than we could ever ask. But they're waiting for co-op mode, and that's their excitement. So that's one of the things we're definitely going to leverage on.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, because it is PvE, not everyone likes the very competitive PvP experience. That will get more people into the game, and we're providing a larger progression framework. So hopefully, people like that. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely a different taste of gameplay there.
Right. And so what are all the new maps themed as?
New maps, what they're themed as, like location and stuff like that. I mean, we have a lot of different ideas. I don't want to give away too much, but the new assault map is, I mean, like our asset pipeline, especially for map design, is getting better and better and better every time we make a map. So, like, people who have seen, like, the defense map that we showed off at PAX, the retrieve map, this assault map, it looks so much better than all of those. It's crazy. I will say it is a snowy map. It is cold there, but there are some surprises as well.
Yeah, but we just get better at time. I like to compare like Battle on the Dunes to Fjords and Raid on the Refinery and all the cool stuff that got added in later, because the team learns and improves, and I like to think just gets better. Like all the new things they added, like the Hades gun with the particle effects was a game changer to me. It's like, this gun is just gorgeous and it's so much fun because of the fire, the damage it feels like. So it looks like, Eric, your camera has frozen. You are now stone-faced Eric, as the Twitch chat is calling you. So for the people who pre-purchased for some time, pass on the website.
Is that better?
Yeah, you are good to go.
Okay.
There you are.
Will we be sent an additional email confirmation or the codes for preloading? So the next email, if you kickstarted or pre-ordered, the next email you should get is, here is a code, put it into Steam. It'll be online here. Here's how you access it. Here's what time it goes live, and rock and roll kind of thing. If you are worried that you pre-ordered or whatever and you want confirmation, just send us an email and we will confirm it. We just don't send out like confirming emails. Like, hopefully PayPal says, hey, we took money from you, which is a confirmation, that kind of thing. But if you want a confirmation directly from us, just ask. We're happy to give it. Remember that accidental bug report email? I got one from another dev. So apparently your email comes up first because I sent out a bug report, and it was meant to go to EvoDoc, and it went to this guy Ernestes. And apparently that happened to another dev, doing it to him as well. I don't know why you attract other people's support emails, but thank you for letting us know. Hope you let them know, and they are not going to be as quick on the trigger for sending you random emails. Will co-op and skirmish be accessible from the same buttons in the program? Like, will I be able to launch skirmish and then activate co-op from it? I believe that's the goal, using the same client.
That's the goal, to loop everything into the same client. Making that transition as seamless as possible is what we want.
Yeah, because it'd be super annoying to have a friend turn on skirmish, you turn on co-op, you have to do all that, mess around, and then you're like, screw it, let's go play Civ or whatever. And we want to avoid that frustration. And I know, because I'm super lazy as well. I have turned off games because, like, okay, this is taking half a minute longer than I expected. I'm going to go get something to eat. Ever thought of trying send this link to your friends, and if they sign up with it, you both get a free item strategy? That is one of the things we've thought of. There's a lot of events we're looking at. One is getting more people to review and review drives, because we actually get a lot of hits. Like, if you say, I love this game, upvote, and you make a little joke, because that seems to work on Steam, your friends see that, and we get a lot of hits off that, and it's a really big thing. So we want to find a way to make players want to review us without just saying, hey, we're bribing you for positive reviews, because it's a little unethical. There's nothing against it, but it's a little too gray, and we're not a fan of that, and it's blown up in the faces of some devs before because people don't like it either, and we don't want to piss you guys off. We like you, and when you like us, things go better. What if the email address is a bad email address for me and I want it to be sent to another email? So if you pre-ordered the game through Kickstarter, or I guess Kickstarter's backing, or pre-ordered from the site, and you changed emails since then, just send us an email, say, hey, this was mine, and then whatever happened, and this is the new one.
Hold on.
You do have feedback at
Hold
Muse.com, and then we can follow up
Hold on. Hey, hold on. If you backed us on Kickstarter, change your Kickstarter email. That is because we're going to be recompiling all of the Kickstarter emails because we got that survey from a while ago, so we're going to be downloading the latest from Kickstarter when we are going to send this out. So if you want us to get the right email, change your Kickstarter email. That's the easiest for us.
There you go.
If you did PayPal, we have your PayPal email. If you don't want it to be sent to your PayPal email, then yes, you must email us at feedback@musegames.com.
Yeah, so you're saying it was a pre-order email. So yep, just send us a message, an email, and you'll get a response saying, yep, we've changed it, you're good to go, or we can't find you, or whatever needs to happen happens.
Yeah, and if you're changing your PayPal email, make sure you send us the email that you use to pay, use PayPal with, or like the confirmation number.
I was going to say, if you can include the virtual receipt, that would be perfect.
Just so we can verify that you actually paid for the game, and we don't send it to some stranger who gave us no money and whatever, all that stuff.
And hates you and wanted to steal your version of Alliance. Will there be any more lore with the new game modes? I do like the lore between the different alliances, Yeshin, Caledonian, etc.
Yes, there will be, those factions will be more fleshed out. Don't expect any novels to be written. Again, we are a small team, so what we're looking at is we're going to characterize these factions as best we can. We're going to give you who they are, how they behave, what they're into, what are they culturally like if they correlate to someone in our real world. Give you their motivations, and from there you can extrapolate of things that are happening in the world, and you can sort of skin it in your own imagination. Hopefully that's enough to keep people interested. Again, the whole idea behind the world progression is, and the narrative in Alliance is that we hope that you can do a lot of that stuff yourself, be able to, it's oh, you're fighting for this faction, you become really involved in fact, you are that faction, so the decisions that you make will drive the history in the Guns of Icarus world. So hopefully the stuff that we'll give will be enough for people to infer about, they'll sort of role play on your own. So that's our goal with everything. So yeah, enough information. Hopefully that's what we're looking at.
And then you can do what I do, which is write basically my own fan fiction dictionary of the factions. But that's because I'm a huge history nerd, and I love doing that. So I have novels of documentation that have no bearing on reality, kind of thing. And I recommend, if you like lore, it's like Eric said, it's a lot of filling in your own gaps, and I believe aesthetically is one of the most important parts of the game. So the way the baronies look, the way they fight, and the way they react is, in and of itself, a piece of lore. It's like archaeology, where you get a relic of a civilization, and using that relic you extrapolate how they used it, why they used it, and how they feel about it. And I feel like the artists have done an amazing job making the ships feel like they should be in that kind of area, or they should act the way they do, kind of thing, or look the way they do. It's like the barony ships, and they're very knightly, is the way I'd say it, shape. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be more clear. Yes, all the assets and objects that are going into the game will clearly reflect each faction's personality, but we'll make sure we do our jobs to spell out exactly who these factions are. That's where we want to get. It's who these people are. Is that who you want to play as? Then go for it. If it's not, then hopefully some of the other factions are more similar to what you want to role play as, and then it'll feed off of each other, how you react with all the players, and what the decisions are being made, what territories are being lost and gained throughout the alliance mode progression.
And then my airship needs a horn I can use. No. And not because I don't trust you, but because there are people on the internet that will hold down the horn and screw with the horn, and the horn will just... the horn will not serve any purpose except for to annoy other people. There will be nothing good about that horn. Think about, if you've ever been in a stadium and there's a guy with an air horn, nobody likes that guy. So when is this coming out? We are looking at the end of the month. That is the goal. I definitely use the term goal because it's not like a cutoff date. We don't start, cutting people up or punishing people viciously. It's, it'll be when we think it's ready, when it's good for you guys, so you don't turn it on and can't do anything, or there's just hideously broken parts. Which we're definitely past that point. Things can go wrong at any point, but it's definitely feeling really good. And there's a lot of, as Eric said, cleaning up the latest maps and making the modes effective and fun. So that is the goal, and hopefully we'll get to put it into your hands then. Any updates on the spinny butts of the boiler room costume? I definitely think that'd be awesome. The biggest thing is artist bandwidth, and it's 100% co-op mode. New everything's making things, so that's definitely a little thing that I'd love to see in, but I definitely am not going to tear the artists away from all the great work on the new ships and guns and maps that they've been doing. I wanted something about where we were and how I've been. I mean, the AF screen map just isn't enough. So basically, they want more map stuff.
What is this?
So they're saying they like the AFK screen map, but they want more about it, like the places in there, like what they're like and stuff like that.
Like info about the map they're playing on while they're AFK. Is that what
I don't think they want it while they're AFK. I'm just saying that's when he sees the map. It sounds like, and he just wants more info on what it's like. Because, I guess you can get a general, it's cold up here, it's deserty down there, but not anything else. I don't know, I guess it just comes down to people just want more lore.
Game that has it on the maps, though, isn't there? So we could probably add a little more lore into that, I suppose. But, info is also found in those books. People look in the help menu. They want to look up, information about the maps and stuff. That's, if I understand that correctly.
Okay, well, to sum it up, the places for each individual map in skirmish mode, the place where you can get lore is the loading screen. And also, every map has an achievement that you can lock for them that will add pages to one of the books that you have in the manual section. And you can look at some more information there, and that's it. So if what you're saying is, if that's not enough, well... I guess we can always add more. I can't promise anything. It is a lot of work, and in Alliance mode, there are a lot of territories that you can be fighting over, so we definitely can't do everything. So it's basically, it's just like we got to choose what we think is most important. So we don't have a team of writers, remember. We're not like Skyrim or something.
Eric, I think I've got a solution. We just come up with BS facts for every area. Just be like, this place smells vaguely of rotten eggs. Or, it's around 96 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Oof.
We'll just link it up with some random, location in the world and just live update it.
Yeah. That would be hilariously fun, and it would be interesting to see if people could figure out what location it actually was.
That'd be funny.
That'd be legit.
Will you ever release the AI costume? It would suit my clan tag well. I don't think so. We want them to be great, big, orange, and glowing, so you can be like, that's an AI, and I can't trust him to be as effective as a regular person. Kind of thing.
Or be more effective, depending.
Looks like someone's yelling out Matthew with a bunch of exclamation marks, so I'll yell out your name back. Tug a Nerf! So, I don't know what it's about. I don't... but... Oh, I'm the dude from Portugal who couldn't join the servers. It's all good now. That is good to hear. I'm glad that you're able to get in. You can fly on Guns of Icarus and have fun. So if you ever have any more issues, bug us again. We're always happy to get them working. Someone's saying, so you want your AFK notification to be more immersive? It probably won't be. We're not gonna make we're not gonna make a fun AFK screen. That sounds weird. Man, our game is just great if you don't play it. If you just AFK. Mid to long term, how about a globe? Do we have any plans to? Are we always going to be on the map with the edges, or are there any plans for a globe for actual world?
What do you mean, a globe?
So, like, you know how the faction map is? It's a map, so there's edges. It's because in the world, you'd go from one end all the way back. You wouldn't just stop and say, okay, we're done here.
Oh, that's not very. A globe is not that useful because you can only see a portion of the globe at any given time. Whereas a map, you can see the status of the entire, playable area.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as alliance mode, it's always you will load up onto a map screen and you can see what territories each faction is controlling. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, but the overview is very important. We want, at a glance, you can tell it's like, oh shit, the Anglians have a lot of territory. We should do something about that. If it's a globe, it's like, well, I don't know. Where does it zoom into first? How is it rotated? It's all that sort of question. So I would say it's no. The map is more effective for at least our goals.
So the world is flat.
Yes.
I trust the AI more. F3 to win. I will say there are times that I just want to glue people to the guns and just be like, I don't care if we're dying. We can shoot them harder than they can shoot us. Just keep firing. The lore doesn't have to be on the game client itself. I'd be content if it was just on the wiki. Yeah, I mean, the problem, showing it's always important, but I think the biggest thing is, as Eric said, we're not a team of writers. So there's, content generation is a big thing, because we'd have to create, there is a lot of things we'd love to create, but there's also a lot of game we'd like to make as well, so... that's where we're going to focus, and, if you guys want to keep creating lore and fan fiction, there's actually a section in the forums where some great RPing is happening. So if you're really into what Guns of Icarus is like from the day-to-day if it was the real world, there's definitely some stuff to do there.
Basically what I think we'll be able to provide, if people like it on the wiki, okay, sure, we can have a wiki about factions. We can talk a little bit about each of the factions and who they are. So that
I think that would probably be pretty popular, actually.
What would you guys think of a pre-match bounty or betting system originally suggested on the forums? So I think that sounds awesome. I also think people are going to be assholes about it. A big thing is if you add in a system where you can lose things through betting or a bounty, you start getting people who are going to be a lot more aggressive in the game. You're going to see, oh, this guy is, a couple levels lower than I want, so I'm going to flame him until he leaves. This guy didn't take what I want him to take, I'm going to flame him. If you make the game less about the game aspect and more about the winning and the loss, you're going to get a lot more anger and frustration. A lot of the achievements we're putting in now are very much focused on, listen, it's good to have newer players, or it's good to just play the game and enjoy the game and not, you could lose something off this. You're on the hook for just failing, kind of thing. And so you need to blame everyone around you and get angry. Though on the other hand, we're also looking at creating a vet mode, so you'll be playing with those high skill players, and we can look at expanding the ways that works and just put it listen, you should probably join this with people you trust. This is going to be a lot more intense. But we're going to check out the vet mode, how it goes, how you guys use it, if there's ways to make sure, everyone's nice, or that random guy you bump into who's a jerk, we really don't want to give him any more reason to be a jerk, because they'll find one. Someone's asking, what's your favorite ship to fly on? I don't have it, to fly on is different than to fly, because my favorite ship to fly is a goldfish. I think my favorite ship to fly on is either a Mobula, Pyramidion, or Spire, just something where the guns face forward. There's less chance for the pilot to, get a bad angle and really piss me off because I'm out of arc. That makes me fussy.
Oh, people will have a fun time on some of these new ships. It's kind of tricky to get those arcs on.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you guys, your favorite ships to fly on?
To fly on. I don't know. I mean, it all relies on having a good captain. I feel comfortable on most ships. Um, if the captain can line it up, or not get ourselves killed all the time, I'm pretty much comfortable. Oh, okay, you know what? I like flying on the squid. That's probably
Really?
the most heck.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty chaotic, yeah. I mean, it depends on the roles I take on. Like, if I'm engineering, and I feel like just chilling out, Pyramidians, like main engineering, super chill. But if I want to buff engineer, Goldfishes, definitely.
See, flying on a squid, like I guess I've never. Like, I would love to fly with, like, Gilder as a squid pilot. Like, because I've flown with you, Eric, and you're good. But I've flown with a lot of squid pilots who, as far as arcs, just don't seem to get it. Sometimes I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, I'm just so frustrated with the situation. I just want to kill them, and I'm being stopped. Don't stop me from murder. This is my goal in life.
Yeah, I mean, like the tricky part about the squid is like the back gun usually goes underused, and you just need to communicate about like, hey, get on that back gun. You could. It's pretty versatile if you think about it. It's a good ship. I like it a lot.
Hmm.
Have we ever thought about making it so you could put light guns in heavy slots? Or vice versa?
Mm, have we thought about it? No, but I'm thinking about it now, and no. Um, it's very complicated. I mean, like putting especially a heavy weapon into a light slot, like physically that is not possible.
Okay,
Like,
but then what about a light into a heavy slot, so...
um,
That goes against the game design, though, doesn't it?
well, I mean, in parts, yes, but yeah, I don't really see the value to it. Like, if it has a heavy slot, then the decision space is, yes, I want you to bring one of these heavy weapons. It, for at least as a design standpoint, it constricts the possible the decisions choices. If you have an option there, now it's double. I can choose a light weapon or a heavy weapon. It's like, okay, as a player, it's like, oh, that's pretty fascinating. But for like workload on me, it's like, oh man, that's like a million different permutations now. I'd rather, if I wanted you to have that option, I would prefer it like on the left side of a gallon. You have that light weapon slot, and then downstairs you have the heavy weapon slots. That's how I would do it. So at least I know, and I can do that intentionally, and I kind of have an understanding of like, what are the crazy things that could happen on this ship? If there was all that degree of freedom, then it's like, I don't know, and maybe it'll work. I'm not sure, but just thinking about it theoretically, it's like crazy shit could happen and like things could break. And that's scary.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone said, Mikko, you have a lovely voice, so congrats.
Thank you.
Someone was asking to be able to put custom designs on balloons. So the reason the workshop's not, you put it in, it goes into the game, beyond the technical aspect, is we don't want to have to curate all that. So think about, we already go through everyone's name and all the, I'm a Nazi, or just slurs and words. Imagine that for the number of penises that'd be put on ships, and also just how aesthetically unpleasing it would be to have like rainbow-colored ships in this dystopian future. So it's like, oh, everything's kind of dark and gritty, and then yay, smiley face colors. I'm sure Tim would just have a seizure looking at it. Just he'd be really frustrated.
I would beg to wonder though why we would include spring green then amongst all the colors that we have available for dyes, because that is a pretty kind of color.
Yeah, true. I mean, and that's the reason that the dyes for that's the reason for why dyes for costumes aren't the same dyes for ships, because there's colors like spring green, kind of thing. Because your own personal style and clothing is different than, man, the entire ship's glowing and neon.
That would just be wow. It would stick out like a sore thumb too, to be honest. But
yeah, it would be tactically disadvantageous to begin with.
Disadvantageous.
Disadvantageous. There you go. About the Northern Fjords flag, why does it only appear around that position when looked at in that direction? It's a bug. It makes it really stand out from certain directions. We're checking it out. But yeah, you will see a flash of orange and be really confused.
Yeah.
It's probably an LOD problem.
Probably an LOD. Oh, LOD. You monster of a thing.
Those flags.
not really about Guns of Icarus. What text editor do you guys use? Like the
Oh, for programming?
OpenOffice, Microsoft Word, or we're programming. I don't know. We'll see how that question
Okay,
goes.
well, most of our programmers have used Visual Studio to do all their programming in, because it's just fully featured. You can search up, like if you have a variable, it can look up through all your files to see where that variable is called, where functions are used, etc., etc. Sometimes other people like to use different text editors. Sublime Text is nice. I like it. It plays nice with Unity, like highlighting and stuff like that. You can install third-party plugins to make that work. As far as other stuff, like Google Docs, for normal, writing stuff, Google Docs is the way we do things.
Yep. We know that Altwood is an actual park in England?
What is a park?
What is park?
Altwood. I think is that a name of one of our maps or reference somewhere?
I don't remember.
Yeah, this is the problem. Someone on the
Yes,
team
me.
might have named something Altwood. I don't remember it. So yeah, I guess, is that just a random statement that Altwood is an actual park in England, or do we have some place called Altwood? Someone said neon colors bring Blood Dragon into Guns of Icarus. Yeah, it'd be super cool if we had doubled the size of the team and half of them got to make a 80s spin-off of Guns of Icarus.
That'd be weird. It's kind of fun. Steampunk. Give it to me. Concept it.
Yeah, no,
Ship it.
I like the idea. I've always wondered, why is the flag's color used for friend or foe identification? It said the balloon's color of people dyeing their balloon red-blue is confusing.
I actually kind of agree with that. It is very similar colors, but there's a shade difference between the actual flags and the color balloons. But they're close enough to be sometimes misconstrued. So
The balloons didn't used to change colors with teams, right? It was always the flags.
No, it was.
always flags.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, I think it's sort of a relic. I mean, we have had some things about the red and the blue. We could definitely look at that, maybe change the shades up. I mean, we're kind of into it, so it's a little hard, but we'll definitely see, like, if it's... So I guess my question for you is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does it bother you right now? Like, is it a, man, this is kind of silly, 1, or, wow, you guys suck, 10?
Yeah, I mean, to put into perspective, as far as what we're encountering in Alliance, a lot of the discussion is, in Alliance mode, the number of enemies on screen is ridiculous. There are like 20 dudes on screen at once. It could be airships, it could be boss ships, there are a ton of airplanes flying overhead. Who knows what's going on? There's so much going, it's crazy. Skirmish mode, at most there are 4 other things on screen. 4 enemies rather. So you could have 7 things, your teammates and the 4 enemies right in front of you. Yeah, I guess in that case, in the 4v4, it could get a little bit confusing. But more likely than not, you have a 2v2 and there are 3 things in front of you.
I think what they're asking is like, why choose blue and red as opposed to like green and cyan or anything else that's more striking from the team colors, because that's what's confusing a lot of players, is that the 2 colors actually are very similar to the team colors, as opposed to trying, say, like black, for instance, which is obviously not associative to
Which colors are similar?
Red and blue are similar to the red and blue team that we have.
Exactly.
Oh, the hue of the balloon color.
Yes,
is
correct.
Well,
correct.
we can. Yeah,
I mean, even an adjustment to the value.
If that's a problem statement, yeah, we can look at it.
Yeah, would certainly help.
All right, so, and they're saying that it's a 2.5 out of 10 on the scale of annoying kind of thing. So,
Okay, then,
we'll keep it in mind if there's like a quick bump that we find into, maybe. But if it's a 2.5, it'll probably be on. There's a lot of 1s and 2s around that we'd love to look at, kind of thing. I think we're still on the 10s, 9s, and 8s to make sure everything works out. I remember something I wanted to ask. Can you implement the ability to have 2 keys bound to do the same thing? I don't know. Can we, Eric?
It could be. I'm sure we can do it. There's a way to do it, but the thing is, like, how do we know when to stop, like, binding the number of keys, right? So, like, what happens if you want to unbind those keys? I guess my question is, does any other game allow? Oh, they have like a primary and secondary. I guess we could do that.
That would require options menu UI, which we might need to look at anyways as soon as we add any more options, because we are at the like max for that screen.
Yeah. I mean, I could, like, making a call right now, it's like, that seems to be a very specific use case, and I would say no. But if we find that it's like, oh, more and more people want this, and they want to have, like, multiple ways you can access the map screen. It's like, I want to bind this to, like, 4 different buttons. Okay, maybe that's a thing that people do, and we'll support it.
I will have one practical use for mapping multiple actions to the same keys is like piloting a ship and moving around on a ship. If you're on the helm, you could use the same keys to move around the same way you can moving the ship itself.
Yeah, so. Someone brought up the use case. They have an MMO mouse and they want to use the side buttons for the same ones as the keyboard. Actually, there's a workaround for this already then, because most gaming mice, you can set it to the same key on the keyboard. So basically, the mouse is the same key on the keyboard, so you'll have to bind it once. Definitely, if you guys have like specific use cases on this, let us know so we can certainly think about it and see if there's any elegant solutions. But if it's something like that, I think that one's good to go. Like, it's definitely not elegant in game, but the problem's already solved there. Hopefully. So, if not, definitely let us know, kind of thing. We always like feedback emails to think about things that we're not thinking about. Gilder's saying, some players requesting a colorblind mode because red-blue looks the same to them. Colorblind and the flare brightness and like the flickering of it are 2 quality of life things that at some point we should really get to. But I don't think we have any like engineer bandwidth time or artist bandwidth time for them yet. But they are on the list of things to be done or that really need to be checked out. And also, Fernfield. So, in the east, the sparkling sheets of unbroken ice give way to the jagged forested mountains of Altwood and the scrubbery snow tundra where free-range reindeer are driven by hardy Uvarian herders? Ulavarian?
Oh, was this from, like, an old, like, faction feature? Is that what it is?
Probably.
Where's it coming from?
I guess, yeah. MCR, let us know where that came from.
Yeah, see, like, the thing is, a lot of the lore that has been written, not the stuff in game is more or less fine, but like the stuff outside of game, that person has left. They're no longer involved with Muse games. So like, she wrote a lot of stuff, and it's just like, well, I don't know. We don't know what any of that stuff is. Like, this is how it is. Like, I'll be very honest and frank with you guys. It's like, we don't have a person that does that anymore. And we don't think that should be the focus of the lore that we're going to provide in Alliance mode. The lore that we want to provide is about each individual faction and who they are, and how they behave, and what their worldviews are. So if you think of like looking at the different like countries in like Russia, America, China, like who are those people? What do they value? What are their goals and how do they view the world? That's how we're approaching it.
Mm-hmm.
Every place has their monuments and like their Grand Canyons and stuff like that, but that is a nice to have in our opinion. It's like there are so many of those landmarks and places that like at the end of the day it's like, okay, it's kind of the same from place to place. So these people's got desert, oh, they got a desert too. So that's what we can provide for our team size, and we find that the most valuable.
Yeah, they got it from gunsoficarus.com/world/town/Fernfield. So.
Yes. So one of those things.
As Callie D says, placeholder lore. So would we even call it placeholder, or should we call it out of date that we should probably get rid of at some point lore?
Probably.
Yeah. As we get up the information that we want to give you guys, the website probably needs a couple cleanup passes on things like that. So, mean, you can definitely hold it as true, but we're probably not going to react off it in any way or really think about it ever again. Like, we didn't even know about it when you brought it up, kind of thing. So, take that as you will. And with that, so we are 10 minutes away from ending, so we'll definitely open up, it doesn't have to be Guns of Icarus questions. We'll give you all the goofy ones that you want or anything, but we'll still take the Guns of Icarus ones if there's anything in-depth about design, about the games industry, about us personally that you want to know. And in the meantime, you should definitely be getting ready for the Iron Forker Friday, which is happening right after this, so at 4 p.m. Eastern. Just hop in game, hop and play, watch it here. We're going to be hosting it. And then tomorrow, there's also going to be Aerodrome 3, which has been a lot of fun. We're taking a break because we're just winning too much because of how awesome we are. I will actually, I'm going to credit most of the win to the Mobula. The Mobula is an amazing ship that has been criminally underutilized, especially in competitive play, because we took like 3 of them, and just as soon as we saw a ship, 9 guns just pounding down on somebody.
Yeah, you can't fight against that. There's no way to do it.
Well, you can't go head-to-head to it. Like, that was the problem. Like, if they tried something fancy, maybe you can pull it off, but no, they went head-to-head against 3 Mobulas, and we just brought more guns. We brought 2 guns to the 1-gun party. Has Muse gotten to play with DirectX 12 yet?
No. I mean, like, our engineers are probably familiar with the feature set, but, upgrading all that stuff, and it's like, nah, we have Alliance mode to make. So I'm not familiar with exactly what DirectX 12 provides, but I may have the feeling that maybe it doesn't provide enough benefit for the amount of work it'll take to upgrade to it. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, and we still need to get everyone in the office to Windows 10 without breaking our Unity license. So that's the first upgrade, because apparently if you go to
well, not only that, there are like bugs with Unity, and there are bugs with the game. So when you install with Unity 10, so it's like kind of a tough situation. It's like, well, I think what we need to do is like only upgrade the machine we don't develop on, like the min-spec machine, to Windows 10, and we can catch all the bugs for, of course, a normal consumer will upgrade to Windows 10, and we want to make sure that the game runs for you. So whatever bug and stuff that you encounter, weird stuff that you encounter while while playing Guns of Icarus with Windows 10, please send that over. That would be very, very helpful. But otherwise, yeah, it's such a headache.
Yeah, there's so much work. Like in our design cycle, we're currently looking at porting to new PlayStation, porting to the next Unity, and making sure we work on Windows 10. And now we have to look at DirectX 12, is what you're saying. That's scary. That's a lot of things on top of Make Alliance.
I mean, like the first priority is making we need to make sure the game runs on Windows 10, because everyone else is doing that. We don't need to upgrade to Windows 10. We just need to make sure the people who paid money for our game and want to play it can play it, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, yeah, when can we get to Unity 5? PS4 depends on Unity 5. So when we get to Unity 5, we can go to PS4. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely make sure we don't, Fallout 3 it, where the only way to play our game with a newer system is to edit the all the little DLL stuff, which got exciting. Evo Doc's asking, do you have any plans to switch to DirectX 11? Are there any benefits in doing that?
I don't even know at that point. I mean, if it works now, it works.
Why change something that doesn't get broken?
Yeah.
Right?
Alex would probably know next time we have him on the show, or if you want to email, and I'll make sure it gets to him. He could probably tell you exactly why we are or are not, or when we are, and all that stuff, kind of thing, and how much work it is, and how much it makes him cry that it's so much work, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I want to take this time to remind everyone that on Tuesdays and Thursdays we play the dev games. We stream it live here. Well, I think it's just Guns of Icarus. It's actually a lot of sass talking, and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, this calm and collected Matthew you're seeing now, this is not what you see on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This Mikko here, this happy-go-lucky guy, He will sass Gribik into the ground, okay?
Please. He and I were working together last Thursday. We were doing super swell. Super swell.
Do you guys plan to support the trash-based economy of 2070? Yeah, we really need to future-proof the game. We're going to say, 5 liters of custom scrap or $10 for Alliance mode. And if there was digital trash, I would support it. There's already a lot of digital trash out there. Luckily, you just don't bump into it as much. There's a lot of dead websites and websites with broken assets and games that don't even work, which you could technically call digital trash. I mean, I've got CDs in this thing right next to me that I don't even think work anymore. I spend about 30 minutes to an hour every day finding bugs, taking screenshots, and writing emails, and we appreciate it. Seriously, it's a lot of work, I know, to catch a screenshot and not just say, screw it, I'm gonna just play another round or I'll play a different game, and actually saying, here, I'm gonna reproduce it, I'm gonna get the details, I'm gonna get the screenshot, the log, I'm gonna send it in so they know what's going on, and it helps us so much. We're a small team, we don't have this huge Q&A department to say, yeah, if you bump this wall 3 times and jump on this guy's head, it destroys the game kind of thing. So, yes, if you bump into bugs and you send them in, you're heroes and deeply loved by us. I guess, do you guys have any final comments for today, or we're gonna end this for the Iron Fork? Okay, I will take that silence as we have expended all the interest we have for the day. It is a great time for us to stop. We will be happy to see you guys tomorrow on this stream. It won't be us hosting, it'll be someone else doing the Aerodrome, which is an amazing event. You guys should be signing up for it, you guys should be playing in it. We want more people to fight. Someone just said, wait, if you have a question, definitely write it as I'm going through my ending spiel, and we will take it, I promise. What channel is The Fork on? The Fork is going to be on The Obvious Show, which will be hosted here, so you do not need to move if you want to watch it. Wait, when does this thing come out again? Alliance mode, the goal is the end of the month. If you're signed up through Kickstarter or Kickstarter, or you got the pre-order from our site, you should get an email. Prototype.
It's not the full game. It's very clear. Don't want to get anyone's hopes up. It is the first prototype that is hopefully going to come out at the end of August, early September timeframe.
Yeah, and this prototype, so he doesn't want to oversell it, I don't want to undersell it. There's still going to be a bunch of new enemies to fight, there's new maps to see, there's so much content that we've been working on. So it's still prototype, there's still a lot of work to be done, but I'm really excited for you guys to get your hands on it, so. With that, we're going to end for the day. We'll see you next week, Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. for the dev games. Join in, hear our sass, and then again at 3 p.m. on Friday. And thank you for flying with Guns of Icarus. Bye, everybody.